Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. It's Naaman, the DC camp, branch of Great Millstone, back for another video. But first and foremost, call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kahadash, and of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, who deserve double honors and grew well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. Alright, pushing this truth out. Four corners of the earth, being out there on the highways and byways, and also by uploading numerous videos that go out over the airwaves. All right, help further push the truth out. What we have here is an example of when Great Millstone has always told you from the elder apostles on down about them using witchcraft against us. All right, but Zionist rabbi, Americans must be sacrificed for Israel's survival. For those of you that like to kiss these frauds, these bastards, ass. Alright, and that's what they are, bastards. It's a damn shame. Everything's falling apart for these people, you have to understand, and thereby lies the danger. Alright, there's a reason Isaiah 13 chapter and Daniel 12 and 1 is there in the scriptures. There's coming a time like no other, like there's ever been since there's been people on the earth. Why? Well, one big reason is we're going into here. I hope you understand that you've had a people that have carved out their niche in the world, and it's all been over lies. And that house of cards is falling apart, and they're going to do any and everything they can to try to maintain. And I always put this forth and tell people, even before I came into the truth years ago, I always made the statement about, well, we know to the extent these devils went in establishing what they've, built up off of their wickedness. They're murdering, they're raping and robbing and pillaging, not giving two fucks about it. That's just their nature. Think about that old saying about the old boxer, when is he most dangerous, same principle here. Alright, yeah, you think he wants to lose all of this? I mean, they've gotten filthy rich by and large off of people's ignorance. But now the people are like, you know what? No, you've gone too far. And all this information is coming out. Alright, it's like that little Dutch boy in a dike. You don't have anything left to plug up the holes, and all the information that's coming out, you just can't stop it. Hillary Clinton said during the first Trump run, when she was going against him, they lost the information more than they have. Alright, so you're seeing this thing with TikTok that just happened, and the letter that when you go to Savvy Sav's website, she's out of Boston, the letter is read, supposedly the letter that Charlie Kirk sent to Netanyahu warning him about what I just said about the information war. They've lost it. The people, you can't unsee what you've seen. And the thing about Netanyahu and all those demons, Charlie Kirk was starting to ask questions. You got to understand, he was sitting on a gold mine. The gold mine being these young white males, turning point. Now, if he started to ask questions and started to dig into things, and well, now we can't have that because America over here, it's a gold mine for Israel. And I have something, I hope you can see it. This was from, I can't get my Instagram up for some reason, so I just hope that you can see this here. Let's see. Alright. And right here what I have, let's see. America, let me see. Just hold it up here. Hopefully you can see that. Alright. Make sure it's straight. And this is Mr. Milka. God dang it. Hold on. Let me go into my settings here. Let's see. Give it a little bit more time. Alright. Alright, won't have to worry about that. Okay. Alright, Mr. Milkowski, aka Netanyahu. Alright. Make sure you get that. Hopefully not too much of a glare there. Alright. Alright, let me read it. This is from 1990 in Jerusalem. And I quote, "America is a golden calf, and we will suck it dry, chop it up, and sell it off, piece by piece, until there is nothing left but the world's biggest welfare state that we will create and control. This is what we do to countries that we hate. We destroy them very slowly." So for all you people that got your head up these people's asses, alright, no less worship, because you've been fooled into thinking that they're somebody when they're not. Alright, and they've been taking advantage of you for oh so long. And while you're running around here because of a person that they're behind, no less, who do you think got him out of all this legal bullshit he was in? Alright, so he owes them. Oh man, he pulled a fast one on all you redneck fucks. And deservedly so. You know, fuck you. You know, I hate to go on this ramble, but it needs to be said. You are getting your just desserts. And it's beautiful to see. Alright, so let's go ahead and run this video. It's sad, but hey. You reap what you sow. Let's see.
Let's see if we can, christen our Jen's hit list.
No one is above being forced to be on the front lines. If it means dying for this cause. So brace yourself. This language is pretty disturbing.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice.
So right off the bat, she's letting you know that human sacrifice is not only something that isn't taboo, it's something that is very acceptable and should be practiced. And look at the cadre of the very, listen, you want to talk about white people. You see, when it comes to Israel and what they claim is there, these people that you see here are the biggest
claim
of the state of Israel.
How does he get that yarmulke to stay on his head? Is it like a suction cup? This woman.
But even more importantly, what the hell is she doing up there? I was trying to wait until they, say what they want to say. But let's go. Again, scripture. Alright, because at the end of the day, this is what's tearing them a new asshole. Alright. This is Titus, 2nd chapter. It says, teach sound doctrine. And part of that sound doctrine is what? Alright, let's go on down here. What is a woman supposed to do? What is her role? Verse 3 gets on the men too, so don't worry, but we're addressing the women. There's a whole flock of them up there in the synagogue, and they're not supposed to be, letting you know these people are contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded in all things, shewing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine, shewing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. But is that the case now? No, because first thing out of somebody's mouth, especially Jake, ain't no shame in my game. Alright, let's go on down to let's go to 1 Timothy. Let's see. Here it is, 1 Timothy 2:9. In like manner also, again, it gets into the men, for we're concerned with the women, because they're the ones, especially amongst Jake, that are just out of control. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the women learn in silence with all let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. That's not being in subjection, what you see in this video. Starting off it says, but I suffered not a woman to teach. Point blank, simple, plain. How can you misconstrue that? But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So no women preachers, ministers, and damn sure no rabbis. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity, and holiness with sobriety. See, it's a whole lot of witchcraft and shit going on here. But we'll let this play, and then we'll address that later.
Is now going to be my official person on. But this is Rachel. My friend Rachel's idea that I should have a hit list. Except you can't make it very explicit, like that it's like something where you want to hurt people. So let me share.
I can just about guarantee that they got, especially the elder apostles. I can just imagine they got like voodoo dolls and shit. They're resorting to all kinds of witchcraft from across the board as far as cultures go. They're looking into everything that can try to, they think they can help them. All right.
A programmer who has been making a living from my own SaaS applications for 8
Who cares?
years. For many years, I used
Jen's hit
That's
list.
my hit list. So it's somebody that is worthy of me needing one. And that's this bitch. That's this bitch.
We call it by different names now. And make our offerings to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage, and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee.
Yes, you do. You do these things.
It's almost like she's saying it gleefully.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that flag doing inside that?
That's common.
That's common.
And first of all, the fact that there's a female rabbi.
Yeah, a female rabbi. Let's get something out of the way real quick. I forgot to off the. All right. And this is the copyright disclaimer. And as it reads under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Alright, let's go on back to the video. Whoops, wrong one. I don't need to see that fried chicken there. That good old fried chicken. Oh man, let's see. I forgot what the hell. Okay. Let's see. Y'all think that I'm trying to get you hungry on purpose? Just think of it. Well, at least it wasn't on, you know. Oh man, it wasn't on the Day of Atonement. I apologize a lot. All right, here we go. Picking up where we left off. I don't know how that happened.
It's a reformed congregation, right? So in a reformed congregation is where you're going to get the majority of your white Ashkenazi Jews. That's where the bulk of them will probably fall in this country. Will be in a reformed synagogue. So it makes sense.
Pretenders.
And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running.
So she wants you to go die for her cause, because if you don't, humanity will cease to exist. That's what'll happen.
Send your kids, lady.
Please. Send them all. Why don't you send your mother, who's probably the woman standing right behind you? Why don't you send?
You see the arrogance here? So that the world will remain running. Of course, with them being in charge, right? At the head. So you and yours must be sacrificed. Now we're getting into Isaiah 47th chapter about, you know, the witchcrafts and sorts of Wisdom of Solomon, 14th chapter, I believe it is. All this, you know, because they learned this shit from the Hamites. Alright? These are some wicked ass people. And like I say, everything's being exposed. Alright? You can't hide no more.
Seriously.
You know, I have always said that the reason why Teddy Roosevelt to me is the greatest commander-in-chief we've ever had is because unlike pretty much anyone else in the history of our country, with the exception of Lincoln and Washington, actually was willing to go on the front lines to die for what he believed. If he wanted you to fight for something, he'd fight right with you. That's why he was always known as the Rough Rider. These people will never put themselves in harm's way, but you better believe that they are all too ready, willing, and able to do it to you.
Oh yeah.
You must die for this cause.
Mm-hmm. Ah. God dang it. In fact, real quick, I said it in passing. Let me see if I can find it. I said Wisdom of Solomon 14. Let's see. It's the odious works. Is that the one? Let's see. Uh-huh. Yeah, let me start up a little bit. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse, I guess, let's see. I start 8, but that which, and we're talking about idols and idolatry here, alright? It says, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God. Alright, verse 9, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of God they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. See, they have, again, these savages, these Edomites. You know, this asshole got up there, what's his name, Steve Miller, and that meeting, you know, rambling and shit about, you know, and he is one of these tiny hats, small hats, you know, and like I said, all the witchcraft and everything, all this is what they do. They are Talmudists, and the filthy mess that is in that book, it has nothing to do with the scriptures. Alright? It has nothing to do with the Torah. Nothing at all. Nothing. But see, a lot of you people are so lazy that, and so gullible. Alright? That's one of the reasons, and again, this is the Most High's doing. This is one of the reasons that they got away with what they were doing for so long. Of course, the other being Edomite / white supremacy. And now, a lot of you are seeing, albeit it's too late, what these people are really about. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by vain glory of men, and that's what we're talking about here, they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Alright? For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child, soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. One of the cases that this happened was Cesare Borgia. Alright, his father being Alexander VI, Pope. Alright, and that's where you get your image of JC. I don't even want to say the name. Alright, who everybody thinks is, you know, the son of the Most High. 16. Thus in process of time an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings, whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt far off. They took the counterfeit of his visage from far, and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this their forwardness they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present. Alright? So yeah, and straightforward terms here, you're talking about what? I had said many times, and it's correct, what's the largest religion? It's white supremacy. That's what this is all based off of. That's why a lot of people fell into this trap, because after, or I should say, one of the big things that came out of the Renaissance is they what? Something called iconoclasm. All right. And that's, let's get it real quick. This is going to be 1 Maccabees 3:48. Alright. And this is what they're good at. That's why you have to check into these things for your own self. Do your own research. Alright. This is why you have all these books that are painted as if everybody, what they superimpose their own image over it. Alright, it says 1 Maccabees 3:48, and laid open the book of the law, which are the scriptures, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. This is what they did. That's why people grew up thinking that everyone having to do with the scriptures was one of these people here, Edomites, so-called white people. Job 9:24. This is why. This is their doing. It's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges. This is what he did. Iconoclasm. If not, where and who is he? Who else did this? It wasn't Moab, the so-called Chinese. It wasn't Ammon, the so-called Japanese. The only one that was stupid enough and arrogant enough to do this and go worldwide and say, if there is a Heavenly Father and His Son and the heavenly hosts, they look like me. And this is their MO. When you go to ancient Egypt, who took over that when it was basically dead? It was the Ptolemies, the Greeks. Yeah. Ptolemy Soter, or Savior. He's also known as the Silver King, if I'm not mistaken. He had a thing for silver. Alright, but they went in there, and just like I say, these people are pretenders. They started propping themselves up as if they were the ancient pharaohs. That's why a lot of people get Cleopatra wrong. No, Cleopatra was not a so-called black woman. You're talking about the 300s, early 300s, counting down towards zero, or the time the Lord was in on earth. It's kind of backwards if you're not used to counting in the BC, before Common Era, or BCE. It can be a little tricky. So you're looking at circa 332 BC onward. All right. Who wasn't these people when Alexander, when he died, his 4 generals took over. All right. Ptolemy, Cassander, Lysimachus, and Seleucus. Those are the 4. All right. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it's not these people, who else? Clue.
I'm disgusted. I'm so disgusted. I'm just.
That's a hit. That's a
definite hit. This is definitely somebody to be
We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity,
plural, gods,
that they demand blood as the price of their favor.
This is why I don't do religion.
This is why I don't do
You're
religion.
a sick fuck.
But you see, this is Pirate Justin has it right. This is Talmud shit. This isn't Torah stuff.
Yep.
This isn't
Talmud.
This is not stuff like a lot of the Hasidic Jews that are anti-Zionist. This is not. They find this to be a violation. They find this to be a violation of the Torah, which she's saying. What? Yeah. Remember we had Rabbi Shapiro. On here.
Yes.
And again, I want to know when somebody is going to spew this type of demonic rhetoric and say, but I'm going to take up arms with you, and I will go too. You see, that's not happening. You see, this woman probably lives a very comfortable life, and this is what she does for fun. She decided to become a rabbi. She probably has inherited a decent amount of money.
I love how Peter will come up with an entire scenario for someone. It reminds me like when I was little, my mom and I would be out eating or whatever, and we would always look at people and make up entire stories for them. That's kind of like you in a restaurant. That's kind of like you.
Remember I was talking about earlier about I get a lot of this from Ham. This is going back to Wisdom of Solomon. It was 12 I was thinking about. 14, that'll work. Alright. I'll start at the top. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12:1. It says, "For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things," talking about the Most High. "Therefore chastenest thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Most High." This is talking about Israel. But the thing is, when I said they got a lot of this from, I'm talking about these Edomites, got a lot of this from Ham. It says, "For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices." Alright? "And also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh, and the feast of blood." Surely you've heard by now of all the rituals by the, what is it called? Adrenochrome, or something like that, from, and the sacrifice, all these children that come up missing. And that was something they were been accused of for centuries. It's called blood libel. Alright? It's the same fucking people doing the same fucking thing. The only thing now, in the last 100 years or so, not quite that long, now they've got the power, alright, to punish, alright, people for bringing up that history. Alright, got all kinds of ways to deal with it. Alright. Let's see, continuing on. "With their priest out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that kill with their own hands souls destitute to help. They are behind all." You got to understand America. When I read you that quote by who calls himself Netanyahu now, from 1990. This was their plan all along. This is what is that? Let me see if I can pull it up. This is what Kennedy was trying to, because he didn't trust these motherfuckers. I gotta continue to go back to that, because a lot of people are starting to look more closely at that. Let's see if I can remember the stuff. Okay. Alright, let's see. The foreign, let's see. Okay, here it is. The Foreign Agents Registration Act. And if you, from time to time in my videos, you'll hear me reference this, because in November. We know that Kennedy was killed in November 22nd of 1963. Well, during the late spring of that year, May, he was going at it with the then Prime Minister of Israel, which is David Ben-Gurion. Right. And he was trying to get them to register with the Foreign Agents Register, or under the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And this had to do with, wanting them to be subjected to inspections, for weaponry, and because they were in the hunt for nukes, a nuclear weapons program. The irony and all that, right? And they were going at it, and just all of a sudden in June, David Ben-Gurion just resigns abruptly. Just, you know what, fuck it. And then at the same time, what was going on was the executive order that 11-110, 4 ones and a 0. They had to do with, a lot of people say that was another reason, because he was trying to mess with the Federal Reserve. All right, that, got him. And just like what happened, just follow me here. What happened with CK? When something like that has to be done, you make it public and you make it brutal, where everybody sees. And everybody sees, all right, we ain't fucking with that. If that's what's going to happen, we get involved in that? No. So that's how that's done. Let's go on back and finish this out.
Like, you know nothing about her. Nothing about her. You know nothing about this.
I don't need to know anything about her other than she's a sick fuck. And everyone in that room is a sick fuck who doesn't walk out the second they hear it. But unfortunately, this is where the whole concept Jew hatred is really stemming from. It's stemming from people like that's where it's coming from.
Hey guys in the chat, if when an ad comes up, it helps us if you let it play. But even if you don't, throw in there what kind of ads you're seeing. I'm just curious. Because I don't ever get ads watching us live. So that's not anything I see.
I run it on my phone and I just let it play, but I would say that if it's 15 to 30 seconds.
But do you get ads? I don't get
ads. I don't get ads. Then I'll just let it run. But what I'm saying is, if it's 15 to 30 seconds, if you do see the ads, that helps the channel grow. Because that's how revenue is generated without you having to give. And so David Hunter, to anybody else who's in New York City, I am sure you are familiar with the synagogue, and I have no doubt that now you're really familiar with it, and exactly what they think. So you know what I would do? You know what I would do, Jen, if I was in New York City? This is the synagogue that I would go and protest. You want to draw attention to it? You want to stand out there with the Palestinian flag? This is where you do it.
Where is this in New York?
Struggling to build your sales pipeline? Find the best prospects feels impossible. Meet Katie, your AI.
Slaki.
Oh, it's impossible.
So what I would suggest to anybody that wants to go and protest it, and they'll have, oh, you're anti-Semitic, and you're this, that, and the other thing. I would say, show them a clip from Revolutionary Change of what this fucking woman said.
Well, I don't mind being calling people anti-Semitic now. I just don't think it's really working anymore. I would also say to her, no, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm anti-white Ashkenazi Zaya. I'm anti-white Ashkenazi Zaya. That's what I'm anti. Or any Zaya. And by the way, most of them aren't even Semites. And by the way, most of them aren't even Semites.
No, look at them.
I know, there's nothing Semitic about you. I know, there's nothing Semitic about you, lady.
I mean, look, like I said, she can't live in Israel because the Sun don't like her very much. To get away with it in New York, but...
Sophia's asking is reform.
I'm glad how you put that, because the rates of skin cancer that they're having over there. I mean, how can you say you don't belong without saying you don't belong? All right.
from the same thing as revisionist Zionism. I am not completely certain what revisionist Zionism is, but I think the answer is completely no. Reform is, there are several, like, I would say mainstream sects of Judaism amongst Ashkenazi Jews. So amongst your New York Jews, your East Coast Jews, your North Miami Beach Jews, right? The white people. And you'll have those that are Orthodox, and then you'll have conservative, Reform, and then there's also like Reconstructionist, and it's like that. But they are completely unrelated to the concept and theory of Zionism, other than Zionism has permeated many of those groups. But the ideology is completely unrelated. They're unrelated to each other. Okay.
We do it because we cannot see any other choice. And maybe that's why we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconceivable obedience. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he's just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today.
So what you're saying is that you're going to Bible story from thousands of years ago that people just take on faith that Abraham sacrificed.
It has nothing to do with them, by the way.
That's what you're saying. So because Abraham did that thousands of years ago, you should sacrifice your son and maybe daughter too to your God. So go and die for Israel is what she's suggesting. Fuck these people.
Yeah.
Fuck them right to fucking hell, even though they don't believe in it. But I'll still send them anyway. We have to.
Oh, they will shortly, but not the hell that everybody was taught. All right, because they're about to lose it all. They're going to be in that very low place. All right. After quite a few of them go to the grave, also, that's another definition of the hell. But this place where you go to burn for eternity, no, that doesn't exist. All right, these people are getting ready to be very low and down and out and lose everything, all their power and everything. That's the hell, all right, that they have to look forward to for 1,000 years. All right, and then, like no other nation that has ever been on the earth, they're going to be wiped out after they serve their punishment. There's going to be no need for them.
Disassemble this relationship.
Evil people end up in hell is your own sort of spiritual, it's what happens to people that are just sort of evil souls. Just beget evilness in their existence. You know what I mean?
And keep this in mind. I want you all to listen very carefully. Chelsea Clinton, 1,000%, in my opinion, is going to run for Congress. And you know who's going to support her? These fucking people. That's who's going to support her. So keep that in mind. When Jerry Nadler officially steps down from the seat. People are thinking about who's going to replace him.
All these motherfuckers are working together for you morons that think there's a difference between, Republican and Democrats. That's scriptural. That's Revelation 13 and 11. All right? This whole system was set up. It's rigged. All right? The only thing that's been propping this shit up, I say shit, this system up, is the dummy's belief in it. And that's falling apart. That's why things are speeding up. They have to enact this digital system, and it's for control, because at that point it doesn't matter if you know or not. In order to live, especially like you want or think you should live, all right, you're going to have to take a certain device within you.
Because this is a generational change that's happening right now. So who do you think it's going to be? Well, if it's If it's Chelsea Clinton, then these people are going to give her a lot of money.
They will, and I still think she won't.
I think
I think that is really toxic and poisonous to most people. And younger people really don't have a frame of reference one way or the other. I just think that their whole brand is dead. The only reason that Hillary
Yeah.
keeps rearing her head out is she still owns the party. So at the end of the day, she can do what she wants. And also, I mean, she is former senator, former first lady. So I mean, she still gets to stick her head out. But no one wants a new one of you. We don't even want the ones that we're stuck with.
Maybe, but we are dropping a clip at the top of the hour Hillary Clinton and how she is trying to make another power grab by taking control of USAID and running it through the Clinton Global Initiative.
So now you're combining two criminal enterprises together. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's like some sinister shit. You're taking your money laundering operation and combining it with another.
Like I said, I don't really care if she spews this bullshit. The reason I have a problem with it is that these are the people that control our government in this country. She absolutely has her congregation funding AIPAC, funding all of these Israel lobby NGOs. This is where this happens. And I'm not saying it's everywhere in the country, but I can assure you that is what this congregation is. No one talks like this. Unless they're putting their money where their mouth is, and you better
Here, answer this question. So, we've tried to bring Max on. We've tried to bring Max on. I've met Max. I know Max. I've met Max. Peter knows Max. I don't know, and he used to respond. A few years ago when I met him, he would be somewhat responsive. But now he just doesn't respond anymore. So I don't know if he has a different number. I don't know if he has a different number. Ghosting us. I really don't know. But we have tried. I really don't know. But we have tried.
We will continue to try, and hopefully one day.
But Max, if you see this, why are you ghosting me?
You really like me. Let's see if she has anything to say.
like me. All right, let's see if she has anything
need to die for the world to flourish.
Some need to die for the world to flourish.
What they mean is for their world to flourish, for their world to flourish.
How about you first?
Again, it's when they're saying stuff that I agree with, but just things like when Stephen Miller was giving his speech, and he was talking about like the wretched of the earth, and I'm like, yes! I was like, everything he was saying, I felt, and he's like, outrage. With this woman, it's the same thing. I completely agree, lady. Certain people are going to have to be sacrificed. We're going to start with the evil genocidal freaks. We're going to get rid of them first. We're going to get rid of them first because they can't play nice with other people, and apparently you're with them. So that's who needs to go. The rest of us can cohabitate.
Now, I know this is not going to come as any surprise to anybody, but bordering on the Upper East Side, 652 Lexington Avenue, Manhattan, New York. That is where Central Synagogue is. If you're looking for a great place to
where's the Upper East Side? Where's the Upper East Side?
Well, it says it's technically Midtown. I didn't see what the cross street is. Actually, it's 50. So it's Midtown. It's 55th. So it's East 55th and Lexington Avenue. So 652 Lexington Avenue at the corner of 55th Street. If you are looking for a place to do a free Palestine protest, this is where you go. Go right here. And make it so that every fucking person
yeah, stand in front of it. Seriously, that's a great idea. Go block these.
And when somebody asks you,
maybe be there Saturday morning. First thing Saturday morning. People can't easily get into services. First thing Saturday, be set up. I don't know, like some sort of encampment. But you know, the people will end up having, police come and make the whole production. Of course they will.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
get the police to come, and then Jordan and Status Quo will show up and cover it, and that is when everyone will know the psychotic, the scorched earth, genocidal thought process of which there is a lot of money and a lot of power. No one can make a statement like that. No one can make a statement like that. That is the way it is. So, if you can, and hopefully this clip will go viral when we throw it out there. If you want to make an impact, especially in New York,
or attention, Palestine groups and anti-Zionist groups this might be a good location. This might be a good location to go be present.
So there you go. Yeah, they've definitely been exposed to the point that, and they're trying to use this, of course, to their advantage too. Well, you know, the scripture said that we were going to be hated. First of all, it's not talking about you. And second, you're doing all these things and people are just seeing you for what you're really about. And it doesn't add up. The math isn't mathing. You know, that's why you got this difference of what the Talmud says and what the Torah says, the Holy Scriptures. And the two aren't, you know, they don't mesh. It's two different, but they use the Scriptures as a front. You know, and you people, especially you Jakes, you in these churches and you're not learning anything. All right. But it's evident that that's where you belong. All right. So once again, Zionist rabbi, Americans must be sacrificed for Israel's survival. Wow. Wow. They really hate you people. They really, really do. Of course, they hate us more because we are the actual threat. All right. And there's so much in that Bible that unfortunately a lot of you don't even know what it's about, and you had that all along that actually identifies who you're dealing with and condemns them and is the ultimate weapon against them. But in any case, this is all I have. Again, this is Revolutionary Change site I just stumbled on today. And of course, I will be checking it out further from now on. Seems pretty good. You gotta check these things out for yourself, of course. But in any case, once again, I hope whoever views this video has been edified. And I have to remind you, because of what's going on, keep that head on a swivel. Be circumspect. So to the next video, shalom.